Koulibaly of Napoli wants a move to Manchester United. And what a move it would be if we could bring this 6'5", best in Europe centre-back leader into our centre-back. I find like the Emperor, bring our leader to us, Darth Vader. But no, he would be absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. Now, I don't want everyone to get their hopes up too much, because you could spend all day looking for stuff about Koulibaly. There was numerous things floating around social media around late morning that Koulibaly's declared his interest in Manchester United. And this was to do with, there was a fake Instagram post where apparently Koulibaly had liked a picture of himself photoshopped into a United kit. That was fake news, but some people still ran it on their social media platforms and websites. But the one I've gone with is, there's a couple of stories. There's one from the Telegraph and there is one from the Manchester Evening News. Now, the Manchester Evening News would be the better one if it's true, but I can't find these Italian reports they're on about. But basically, in the Manchester Evening News, they are quoting yesterday that Italian reports were saying that Koulibaly does want to leave Napoli. And that's where that comes from. Now, maybe those Italian reports are out there, but I can't find them. So I don't know what that's all about. But he is 6'5", real go-getter. Check his Wikipedia page. I always thought he was 6'3", but apparently he's 6'5". Anyway, he's dominant in the air is what he is. That is factual. So let's agree to disagree. But the Telegraph one is the one I would put more weight on, which is that Manchester United want Koulibaly, but they may have to wait till the summer because there is no appetite from Napoli to sell him in January. Now, I think we are approaching a very, very critical point in this transfer window. It's around the time where we started to do the Sanchez deal last year, and it's around the time everyone starts to do their business in the January transfer window. It very rarely happens in the first 2 weeks. It's normally in the last 2 weeks, which we're about to go into. And what I like to hear is that Napoli have got no appetite to sell him at this moment in time, because appetite can change. You can get hungry when you see more zeros on the end of things. And as I've said before, I really would like to know in the live comments, because this is what we're talking about, what sort of value you would go to with Koulibaly. Because I really don't give a shit if he's 6'2" or 6'5", people. Don't waste my time in the live comments with that. The reality is, check him out, watch him. He's absolutely dominant in the air. That's what I care about. I don't care if he's 6'9". I don't care if he's 5'4". He's dominant in the air is the point. Right. And I haven't got to tape measure out and measure them either. So, right, let's move on. What would you pay for Koulibaly is what I was going to ask. Because that is the key. Because I think the appetite of Napoli is obviously important, but what's Napoli's ceiling here? Because if we're thinking, well, we'll wait till the summer, they'll take 70 million. But if we went in 90 million now, would they take it? That's the interesting thing. I suspect Napoli will try and wait to the summer and have a bidding war with teams like Real Madrid and PSG and things like that. That's not in our interest to do that, because we don't know the situation we're going to be in the summer. We might have Champions League football, but even if we do have Champions League football, could you compete with the Real Madrid? What I fear, and I'm only throwing this out, this is a fan channel, so obviously it's all about opinion. What I fear is we don't sign him in January. Mourinho goes to Real Madrid. What's Mourinho going to do? He knows who we want. He knows we want Koulibaly. He was probably getting Koulibaly. So the last thing I want to see happen is Mourinho goes to Real Madrid, because he will screw us over on transfers. Guaranteed. Mourinho is a master at that. He did it to Chelsea. He did it to Spurs with Willian. He did it to Liverpool with Salah the first time. He will swoop in and get players that other people want. Sanchez with Man City. Fred with Man City. If he knows we want Koulibaly and he's at Real Madrid in the summer, he'll go and get Koulibaly, because Ramos won't play for him anyway. So we need another centre-back. So that's something that nobody's really talking about Koulibaly, that I think is really, really important. And I hope there are people within Manchester United who are savvy enough to realise that there is a good chance that Mourinho is going to Real Madrid. That if he does, Ramos leaves, and Mourinho will want to get one up on us. I don't even mind Mourinho wanting to get one up on us. It's human nature. But if he knows we want Koulibaly, he's going to get Koulibaly, because Koulibaly is a good centre-back as well. So I think it could be a case of January or never to get him. But I do think Koulibaly wants to come to Manchester United. I haven't spoken to him recently, but I do. He's at Napoli. He's 28 in the summer. Napoli are never going to win Serie A. They're never going to win the Champions League. and he's never going to make as much money as he can in the Premier League. And I think he wants to come to the Premier League, and I think Manchester United's perfect. It's all about... This isn't to do with Solskjaer. This isn't to do with Koulibaly. This is to do with Manchester United, our board, and how aggressive they're going to be in the transfer market. Because we see some really ruthless things. We've seen some really ruthless things recently about, looks like Fellaini's going. Looks like McTominay's going on loan. Looks like Rojo's going. They're three pretty significant things to happen for Manchester United. And I think they're real positive things as well. We all get wrapped up in what players are coming in. But we've got such a Deadwood FC, a bloated squad. If we can get rid of 2 or 3 players, whether loans or whatever, then that would be really good. Because there's talk of Fellaini going to Fenerbahce on loan with a requirement that they buy him in the summer. So I would be more than happy with that, as long as he doesn't come back. We don't want him to boomerang on us. McTominay going on loan, good. You can monitor what he's doing on loan. If he does really well, bring him back. If he doesn't, you go, yeah, you were never good enough, you sell him. So that's a positive. Rojo, get rid, opens up a spot for somebody else as a centre-back. So I think those side of things are good. Let me just say thank you for everything you do, LB. Thanks for that. Tell you what, Al, I've had a shit day today, and I've been really looking forward to going live. Mad Marcus rang me up and said, don't do a stream tonight. And I said, but I want to do a stream because it will make me feel better. I just had a crap day, really tired, and I've really been looking forward to this. So a big thumbs up to all you lot for watching and supporting the channel as well, because it means a lot. Let's have a look at James Gallagher. He's made a contribution, 90 million with the richest club in the world. Time to show it. Yeah, I think I'd agree with James. I mean, I'm just going to read through some of the comments and the values. I don't think I'd go over 100 million for Koulibaly, but what I would say about Koulibaly is you've got to watch a lot of him to understand what you're getting. He's not a name of the moment. He's not like people chucking names out. Oh, I'd really like to get Leon Bailey. Oh, he looks good. Or, Koulibaly is the real deal. He is, for me, the best centre-back in Europe at the moment with Van Dijk. I think he is absolutely sensational, and he's a leader. And he ticks every single box of what Manchester United need. If we had a leader and we were looking for another centre-back, you probably would be looking at Edar Militao at Porto. You may be looking at Milenkovic at Fiorentina or Anderson at Sampdoria or some centre-back like that. But when you're looking at what Manchester United need, we've got a very specific tick list that we must tick with the centre-backs. Leader, brilliant in the air, good on the ball, reads the game, and is fast. And Koulibaly's got all those things. All those things. There's that great clip, isn't he, recently at Napoli, where he's sort of jockeying behind the midfielder who is close to the player. And he actually grabs hold of the midfielder and chucks him towards the player. He's a leader. And that is what Manchester United need. Apparently, he's shrunk in the last few minutes because Thomas Bladen says he's 5'10". Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But no, Koulibaly's there to go and get. It's going to be. This is the great thing about United at the moment. I think we're in a comfortable position because of the manager situation. We can wait till May. Let's hope that it's going to be Ollie continuing to build on what he's doing. But it's a good position as well because all eyes are on the board as far as I'm concerned now. How aggressive are they going to be in acquisitions to take us to that next level? Because I keep saying it, and I will say it. Liverpool a year ago went and got Van Dijk, and Van Dijk has revolutionised Liverpool. Liverpool wouldn't be in a title race without that centre-back signing. They got the right man for the job. They could have gone and got somebody for 30 million. They could have gone and got Harry Maguire. They could have gone and got somebody else. But they didn't. They went and got the best that was available that suited them. And Van Dijk can be... Koulibaly can be our Van Dijk. You look at Liverpool a year ago, they were in the same position as us. They needed a leader centre-back to organise their back four, who was decent on the ball, dominant in the air, and quick. And they went and ticked all those boxes. That's going to cost you £75 million, said Southampton. OK, said Liverpool. And they went and did it. And that is a January signing, and that is a year ago. So inflation, I think 80 to 90 million is your starting bid. 100%, 100%. Which, I really do, and I don't for the life of me see why United shouldn't do it. Interestingly, I do just want to bring Football Index here. You can play it. You've got to be over 18, and please do gamble responsibly. I'm doing particularly well with this at the moment. As you can see, I've been playing it for just over a month, and my profit and loss is 109 quid. That's my portfolio. I said the other day I bought Higuain a week ago at 273. He's already gone up to £3.30. He's going to go up even more when he moves to Chelsea, so I would still get on Higuain. You can see Chong, Sanchez, Pogba. I've got a lot of United players because they're going to keep going up at the moment. I need to offload Bale. He was a bad signing. happening. But the way Football Index works, it's a real market where you can buy shares in footballers and watch their price go up and down. But my purpose of this was to show you two things, really. Koulibaly, who is he's 3.24 a share at the moment. Sort of up and down over the last month around the £3 mark. But I just want to show you something, because I'm going to buy 10 shares in Koulibaly. Confirm and buy. So I've just bought 10 shares in Koulibaly there. And I'm going to show you why I'm going to do it. Because he's 3.24 a share there. Watch what happens when I put in Van Dijk. Virgil van Dijk. How much do you think he's going for? Nearly £5 a share. So if Koulibaly comes to the Premier League, like Higuain, his price will rocket up, and that's how it works on Football Index. The player's price will go up on performance and news in transfer stories. So there you go. I've just bought 10 shares in Koulibaly there. Links in the video description. Have a go on it. I'm really enjoying it, and I think over the traditional betting of putting a tenner on a result and you lose your tenner, I quite like the interactivity of Football Index, where it's a bit like FIFA Ultimate Team and Football Manager. You know, you keep an eye on your portfolio and you watch the prices going up and down, and it's a long-term thing for me, which I really enjoy. But Koulibaly, I might have to wait till the summer, but he will come to the Premier League, and when his price and his price will rocket, and that's how it works. Al B says, I watched today, mate. Remember, you only get hate when you're doing something well, hence why everyone hates United right now. Let them hate. Thanks for that, Al B. And Sergey Mamedov says, hi Mark, only 2 weeks left and we absolutely need this squad depth and get rid of dead players. And Tyson Marley says, consider Son for right wing instead of Poch if we can only get one. Both footed and can play anywhere. Also, Ed Woodward is a Chelmsford City fan. Big up, Marks. Thanks for the contribution there. Look, I really do think that the transfer window in the next couple of weeks is going to absolutely go. And I don't know how we will be involved. I think we're going to bring players in. I definitely think players are going to go out the door, 100%. I'll bet my mortgage on it that players are going out the door. I wouldn't bet my mortgage that players are going to come in, but I think they are. I really am positive about that. I know Chelsea are going to do business, and they're above us. So it's going to be a very interesting couple of weeks. Fasten your seatbelts. I think Manolas is still a better deal, says Ricky916. As a business person, you're right, Ricky. But, Ricky! I'm not taking the piss out of your name. That's an EastEnders soap thing in the UK that people may remember. But I just think that nobody wants to dwell on their centre-backs, do they? You know, the glamour positions are the midfield and up front. That's what we want to talk about. Centre-backs, goalkeepers, well, we don't need to worry about. It's not the glamorous position. And I just think if you went and got Koulibaly, you'd solve your defensive problem for the next 5 years. You've got Twansibi coming back. You've got Lindelof. You've got Smalling, who's a decent backup. We'd be absolutely sorted at Manchester United. And, you know, maybe even Eric Bailly could sort himself out. So, and then we can look at full-back, centre midfielder, right midfielder. But that centre-back position, I don't think it's a problem. I think CDM, right back, right midfielder, you can solve those problems in the summer. We can get by. I think the only position we've got in our team is centre-back. And remember about 6 weeks ago, I said I don't think we need a centre-back. After that Spurs game at the weekend, we 100% do. Because I never thought we were going to get into this position we were in. But what I can see is frailty in the centre-back positions, a lack of leadership, a lack of dominance, a lack of speed in the thought and the reading of the game. A lot of our tackles are reactive. The only one who's got a football brain is Lindelof. Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Rojo when he plays, they're all, even Bailly, they're all very reckless and reactive. They don't read the danger quick enough as far as I'm concerned. So that would be the man for me. Pepe for right wing, says Lars Strasser. A lot of people talking about him. His club have come out and said he won't be going anywhere till the summer. So maybe in the summer that's a good one. There's a couple of people I need to talk about on the Transfer Daily tomorrow, but I don't want to dwell too much on transfers because there's lots of other things I need to talk about. But you know what? It puts a smile on my face. Let's just hope that Manchester United can do something big in this transfer window. There is absolutely no reason they can't. And I think if we can come out of it with Koulibaly, it would be absolutely sensational. Absolutely sensational. Please do drop a like on the video, everybody. There are other things I want to talk about. So Alexis Sanchez is back in training today. Paul Pogba and Nemanja Matic didn't train. Both have had children. Congratulations to them. Absolutely fantastic news. Both mothers and babies doing well, as we have. Well, that's what we've heard, which is great. I don't know what Paul Pogba's situation is, but I think that maybe having a baby might bring some maturity to him as he moves into his prime years. So that could be a positive. So it's only a speculative thing, but that's good news. I want to bring Anthony Marcial in here. I suppose it's a little bit of a transfer thing. I think that I wanted to delve into something here there's two things I want to say actually, because I do listen and I do read your comments. And after last night's show, I did a joke about Fellini and the dustbin men and everything like that. And I'm not retracting that joke. That's who I am. That's what I am. I've been doing this for a long time now. If you don't get my sense of humour, there's more mundane channels out there that talk about United that are boring, and maybe that's your cup of tea. I'm not knocking them. Go and watch it if that's what you want to do. On the United stand, I think we have a depth of knowledge that is better than anybody else's, but we also have an understanding that life is for living and life can be fun, and we like to integrate a little bit of fun into it. So I threw a joke in about Fellaini yesterday. Boo-hoo. I'm not apologising for that. But what I am apologising for is that a lot of people still really respect and like Fellaini, and it is a fan channel, and it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge those fans. I personally am ecstatic when he goes. He's not a Manchester United player. He doesn't reflect what Manchester United should do in my mind as a Manchester United fan. However, there are Manchester United fans out there who are saying, respect Fellaini, he scored some important goals, he gives his all to the shirt, and we'll miss him. Did I write that yet? Okay, so that's that bit. I don't agree with it, but there you go. We're a fan channel, we're a democracy, we've got different opinions. There you go. We've catered for the Fellaini lovers. We move on. Anyway, Anthony Marcial. Let's talk about Anthony Marcial. So, what I wanted to talk about is really the weaknesses of our team at the moment that I've seen. And I think I love Anthony Marcial. People often ask me, who's your favourite player at Manchester United? And for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been saying I love Marcial and Rashford. They're my favourite two players because they epitomise what I want. They're the two players in the club that get me off the edge of my seat. I like Pogba, but Marcial and Rashford have got something a little bit more about them. They get you off your seat, and I like those sort of players. But what I thought about Martial's performance against Spurs, and I'm going to be honest here, because I think we need to be honest in the progress that we need to take. I felt that he looks like he needs oiling a little bit. And I don't mean like Man City need to buy him. I mean like he just looks a little bit stuttery. He's not moving as smooth as say Rashford is at the moment. He's not quite in the groove, and that's what I thought about Martial at the weekend. And I think that's an area that he does need to improve, especially with Sanchez knocking on the door. Do you think that Lindelof can play CDM? Says Vincent Olsen. He probably can, but why would you want to do that? He's a very, very good centre back. We'll go and buy a CDM who can play CDM. I think United need to move past this. Round pegs in square hole things, although they fit. Square pegs in round holes. They need to move past that. In fact, Gary Neville, I don't know whether he made this quote, but I read somebody tweeting this quote today, and it was absolutely nail on their head. And what Gary Neville has apparently said is that Manchester United must never again bring a manager in who has their own idea. Manchester United, over the last 6 years, it's proved that Manchester United are a big enough club with a rich enough history that their philosophy is embedded in the club, and whoever is the manager should adhere to that philosophy, much the same as Barcelona and Bayern Munich. You know, big, massive clubs whoever the manager is, they have a philosophy that they stick to, and especially Barcelona. And I think that's what Gary Neville has apparently said, is that, look, Mourinho came in, I'm Mourinho United, we're going to do it my way, park the bus. Van Gaal with whatever he was trying to do, Moyes with his million crosses and no end product. They all came in and was like, I'm going to do it my way. And I think that was a mistake by the club. And all right, Solskjaer might only be here for 6 months. But I think whatever happens, that's very important, that whoever comes into our club, you must do it the United way. And we know what the United way is. Some people say the United way is a myth. The United way is very, very, very easy. It's width. You've got to use the width. You've got to get your fullbacks bumming on. I've said bumming on again. Bombing on. And I don't know what's on my mind. And risk takers in the final third. Get people into the box. Take risks. That's what Manchester United. That's the United way. Width, risk, and intensity. And that's pretty much it, really. Entertain the fans. That's what we're all about. So yeah, I think Gary Neville's absolutely spot on about that. I really do. But going back to Martial, who pretty much epitomises the United way to me. He is apparently a lot happier at Manchester United now. We triggered his 1 year extension around the time Mourinho got sacked. it doesn't really mean anything. It just meant if we hadn't done that, he could have gone for free in the summer, which was never going to happen. We need him to sign a contract in the immediate future, because if we get to the summer and he doesn't sign a contract, we may have to let him go, because we'd have to get something for him, because you can't go into the last season because he might just play it out and go for nothing. So we're in a critical 3 or 4 months, I would say, with Anthony Marcial and David De Gea. But I think De Gea's a different kettle of fish to Marcial. Marcial concerns me because the news coming out on United is that they've not reopened talks with him anyway, not for quite a while. And as I said the other night, Marcial's issue, as stated by his agent, is that the offers he's been given don't anywhere near match what they think he's worth. So it's more of a monetary thing. So that needs to be sorted out massively quickly. And I just want to keep it out there because, you know, everything's really good, but we do desperately need to sort that out sooner rather than later. What's our transfer news at the moment? So with Sheriff, we were just talking about Koulibaly there. So there's a few reports around Koulibaly. The main one is from the Telegraph saying that Manchester United are definitely in for Koulibaly. They want Koulibaly, but they're not getting much love from Napoli at the moment, and it may be a deal that waits till the summer. As I was saying, that's very, very dangerous, because I think Mourinho will be Madrid manager by the summer. I think Ramos will leave Madrid and they will want a centre-back. And who's the best centre-back available? He's going to go for Skriniar or he's going to go for Koulibaly. And I think he'll go for whoever we want. And I think Koulibaly probably suits Real Madrid better than Skriniar and will miss out. So I think the time is now. There is also, through the Manchester Evening News, reports in Italy that Koulibaly does want to leave Napoli and come to United. So, look, it's all about what United do over the next 2 weeks. I think if Ed Woodward pulls off Koulibaly, that just left a horrible vision in my mind. If Ed Woodward can pull off the Koulibaly deal in the next 2 weeks, then he is my dad. You know, it would be absolutely amazing if he can do that. It would be a fantastic deal to do it. So, I don't know. As a percentage, I'd probably say the way I feel about it, there's a 40% chance of it happening. But if anyone was here last year, I was asked the same question about Alexis Sanchez, and I said I'm about 40% sure it's going to happen, and it ended up happening. So hopefully, lightning can strike twice. Alex Williams says, I don't want Koulibaly at United. He's only 6'1.5" and not great in the air, losing 43% of aerial duels. I'd prefer a 6'3" plus dominator like Varane. Alex, I think we're going to have to agree to disagree here, because I don't know whether you've been watching Serie A, but and I'm not massive about stats, but actually Koulibaly is up there with the best in Serie A for aerial duels won. So he is dominant in the air. He's absolutely dominant in the air. Would you... Oh, Sam B. I nearly read your comment there. I nearly did. You're all being filthy now because of my slip of the tongue. What about Coutinho latest news, says Eric Zathansanga. Well, I mean, look, I was going to talk about Coutinho on Transfer Daily tomorrow, but for me, I don't see why you'd bring Coutinho to Manchester United. I mean, I suppose he could play in that position on the right-hand side, and you could have Marcial off the left and Rashford up front, but I don't know enough about Coutinho really. I just don't. Just reminds me of a Di Maria deal, and I don't think that's what United should be looking at. And I'd be very surprised if Ed Woodward was looking at that sort of deal, because it's not what we're hearing from United. We're hearing that United are more looking at players early 20s, develop them a little bit, great potential, get them in the team, build your own talent, not pick up other people's scraps. So no, I wouldn't have thought so. Let's get Umtiti or Marquinhos if we can't get Koulibaly, says Antra Bakshi. Well, Umtiti flirted with us. He flirted with us, didn't he, before the World Cup, and then signed the new contract with Barcelona, so that's not going to happen. Marquinhos, good, but not the dominant leader we need at the back. He's not a dominant centre-back by any means. There's a lot of conversation about the size of Koulibaly. I'm going to leave it to you lot. His Wikipedia page says 6'5". I always thought he looked about 6'3". Some people are saying he's 6'1.5". It's turning into the how big is Koulibaly show. Not in that way. And all I know is, because I've watched a lot of Koulibaly, he is very, very good and dominant in the air, and he's a leader. And that ticks the boxes for me. If Phil Jones was crap at half time, would you pull him off? Says LB. Thanks for that contribution. I would never pull Phil Jones off in that way, but I'd pull him off in the first minute as a substitute. Mark, would you take Ramos, Markel? No, that ship has sailed. It is gone. He had an opportunity. Another player that flirted with us. I'd never take Griezmann at United. I'd never take Ramos. I'd never take Umtiti, because all these people who've played us and got our hopes up get lost. You should only have one chance with Manchester United. We need to get back to that. I'm on form tonight, says John Bowen. Good. I feel very tired. And as I said, I've had a shit day today. Sometimes in life we all have a shit day. I'm a firm believer that men do have their time of the month. And I think at the moment I'm probably on mine and very, very tired as well. But as I said, man Marcus has taken a night off. I don't think people understand you are my sort of drug. You do make me feel good. Ooh, has have a good... No, you do. I in the last 20 minutes, I've probably felt as good as I have all day, apart from when my wife and kids got home. So, thanks to everybody. I really love what we've got, and you've done me the world of good. So, whoever you are, however many people are watching, be proud, because you've watched tonight and it's made me feel good. You've had a big part in that. And hopefully, sometimes I that is reflected back by me. Because, we can't all have a good day all the time, and that's life. And I think always... serious Goldbridge here, but... Nobody's happy all of the time, and it's nothing to do with anything massively that's gone wrong. Sometimes we just don't feel good, and accepting that is one of my staples in life. Is that when I know I'm not in a good mood, I'll let people know straight away, and not by shouting at them, but by saying, "Look, I don't feel good today," and talking about it can be a good thing. Anyway, right midfield, right wing position, be with Gunjan. I'll be talking about that on the Transfer Daily tomorrow. I've started taking some notes. Suggestions for captain, says M. Hussein. Well, go for it. Link in the video in the comments. Let us know. Please do drop a like on the video. Actually, we're nearly at 1,000 likes, which is fantastic. Your support is absolutely amazing. I'm absolutely. A lot of people saying 6'4". Who would you captain for Manchester United be? I think you can rule out buying a captain. I don't think United will ever do that. Let's not forget, we bought Schweinsteiger. He could have been captain. Zlatan could have been captain. We don't do that. So it's got to be somebody who's at the club at the moment. Without looking at the live comments, I would say we're going to get De Gea, Pogba. There may be a few people talking about Herrera. And maybe some people might start talking about Lindelof. But apart from that, I think those would be your 4 selections. There's nobody else. Herrera, De Gea, Pogba, Phil Jones. Yeah, Phil Jones would be a cracking captain. Put him on the boat and send him out to sea. Pogba, De Gea, Herrera, Pogba. Seymour Turner says, big up Mark, best fan channel on YouTube, bar none. Thanks for that, Seymour, really appreciate it. Herrera, Lindelof. Lingard can't be captain. I think he's not far off. I wouldn't dismiss him by a long way, but I wouldn't have Lingard as captain. Yeah, to me, and I'll never sit on the fence, for me, the captain would be... I don't like goalkeepers as captains, so it wouldn't be De Gea, which leaves Pogba. It's got to be Pogba for me. I still wouldn't say I'm 100% happy about Pogba being captain, but he sits in the right part of the team. And I think what Paul Pogba's got to do over the next sort of 2 years of his career is become a mature, consistent performer. And maybe the captaincy could do that for him. So yeah, I would go with that. Matich, you know what, Juice Box, if Nemanja Matic was 25, I would actually seriously talk about it, because I look at Matic between the age of 25 and 30, and he's, a very, very good player. But Matic, I think Matic needs replacing in the summer. He's just not quick enough. I mean, Marcial's my favourite player, and I was quite critical. Well, not critical. I could see room for improvement in his game against Spurs. He just looked a little bit stop-start in his whole game. Matic had a good game against Spurs, but remember when Dele Alli was running down the right-hand side and the gap between Matic and him was getting bigger and bigger? That's Matic's problem in a sentence. Too slow. He's too slow for that position, and he can't do anything about it. And I think he's been brilliant since Ollie's come in. But what we can't do is make him younger, and we can't make him faster. He's just not quick enough for that role. So I think he'll be moving on. Well, I think he needs to move on in the summer. Ashan Tayab says, love you, Mark. Love you too, pal. Thanks for that. Is there any deal we could do with Napoli to get Koulibaly? Comment of the night. There is a deal. Give him Lukaku. No. Well, we could do. But Darmian, Napoli want Darmian. There's quite a few teams in Italy want Darmian. We couldn't do a swap deal for Koulibaly. I'd love to do Koulibaly for Darmian, but that sounds wrong as well. I'd love to do Koulibaly for Darmian. It's like Darmian's watching, clapping. No, none of this filth. What you could do is maybe pay 70 million for Koulibaly and give him Darmian as well, because Darmian's probably worth about 17 million. So that could work, and they get a player. Rojo plus 40 million for Koulibaly, says Tony. What's Rojo worth though? Rojo's probably worth about 25 million. Give them Rojo and Darmian. They're worth about 50 million and 30 million. It gets complicated then. Ali Afshar, I'm glad you've enjoyed the show, but you've been deleted from the stream. See you later. And someone's frisky tonight. I tell you what, I can barely raise a smile, let alone that. I'm so tired. Ryan Back says, I'm sorry, but did you just say Mourinho as Madrid manager? I'm sorry, but I it's only a theory. It's only a theory, but I do think that if Mourinho goes to Real Madrid, he'll go for our centre-back target in the summer, and that's why we should do it now. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting couple of weeks coming up at Manchester United. And hopefully you'll be spending it with us. But I do. As I said, 100%. You can go back to this video. 100% we're going to do deals in the next 2 weeks. And I say deals. Not just one deal. Deals are going to be done in the next 2 weeks. Definitely people are leaving. And I do think that we're going to bring people in as well. I think Valencia will probably go in the summer because our right-back position is a little bit concerning. And Daniel O'Rourke's right. Rojo's injured. I don't know how... There's a lot of talk today that Rojo's going to be the first out the door. How do you sell an injured centre-back who's cooking his toast in Argentina? I don't know. Oh, I do want to say as well, I've just been reminded by a comment there. Look, we've got a fantastic community, the United Stand community. It's been going a few years. Newcomers are welcome. Please do subscribe to the channel and please do drop a like on the video and get involved in it. Look, we're very serious about our football, but we're not very serious about ourselves. And that's reflected across the fan cams, me, Flex, Mad Marcus, Rance, Draughty, everybody. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we do take our football seriously. And I think a lot of you are like that as well. And it's a great community. So thank you everyone who gets involved. But there was a call on Monday night from somebody in India who had a very clear Indian accent. And a couple of people said to me there's a lot of racism in the comments. I went back and looked at the video and there was comments in there that shouldn't be in there. Look, I know you think you're being funny from your computer or wherever you are doing it because you don't think that, there's any accountability for it. But do you want to be removed from the community? Do you want that? But more importantly, do you want to be that person? It's not funny. It's not funny to be racist. It isn't. It's not. There's way more funny ways you could be. You could talk about, my grey hair, or you could talk about my crap FIFA skills. That's absolutely fine. I don't mind banter. But we can't cross into that sort of stuff because it's just not acceptable. So that's serious, and I know I can't necessarily stop it, but please don't do it. Let's respect the community, because the one thing I've always said doing this is that everybody, doesn't matter whether you're from Manchester, Nottingham, Ireland, India, America, Mexico, wherever, if you're a United fan, you're part of the United Stand, and that's the way it works. Okay, so thanks everyone for that. Link in the video description for Football Index. Make sure if you do play it that you're over 18, and please do gamble responsibly. Remember, it's the football stock market game where you can buy shares in players, real life players, and watch their prices go up and down. If you didn't see it, I've just bought myself 10 shares in Koulibaly, who is about £3.30 a share. I've just bought 30 quid's worth. Van Dijk is £5 a share. So it just shows you what will happen to Koulibaly's price if he comes into the Premier League, which I think he will. Thanks everyone for watching. Back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Transfer Daily. You're going to really enjoy it. I've got some good notes already, and I've got to do a few more before we get ready for that one tomorrow morning. So join us for that one. Thanks, everyone. And as I say, a personal thanks to all of you, because I haven't had a very good day today. Nothing worrying, just not a good day. And I've looked forward to this stream, and you've certainly delivered. So thanks to each and every one of you. And if you're not watching live, thanks as well, because you're still watching me, and hopefully I can breathe that positivity, which I already have. So thanks, everyone. Speak to you all soon. I'll see you in the morning.